Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Friday, April 7. Government is receiving a grant valued at $12.58 million from the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, for the improvement of emergency communication systems on the island. Finance Minister Audley Shaw signed the grant agreement at his ministry yesterday with the resident representative for JICA, Kenji Tabita.
The purpose of the project is to provide a platform for emergency and disaster communications among various critical agencies of government, first responders, major stakeholders, auxiliary services, and community volunteers.
Minister Shaw also signed the exchange of notes and records of discussions with Japanese Ambassador Masanori Nakano.
I'm confident that the project will definitely boost and enhance the infrastructural capacity and resilience to cope with natural disasters.
Government will receive the money over 4 years to finance the purchase of products and/or services to facilitate the project. The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, will implement the project. Major outcomes include the installation of an emergency community system at 24 repeater locations and the installation of early warning sirens at 15 locations in 3 communities. National and parish control stations will also be set up and provided with radio transmission and reception devices, and transportable radio equipment will be installed at the Pedro and Morant Keys. Over 250 jobs will be created as government moves to regularize water supplies for several communities across the island. Portfolio Minister Dr. Horace Chang says the Rural Water Supply Limited will be undertaking a comprehensive water supply upgrade program. Areas to be targeted include the Derry Hazard Water Supply System in St. Mary, Warsop Johnny Daggy in Trelawney, Georgia in St. Thomas, Cane River in St. Andrew, Rosewell in Clarendon, and Montpelier Mount Carey in St. James.
Beryl Ground in Hanover, Top Reddington Water Supply in St. Elizabeth, Comapen Mango Valley in St. Mary, Spring Mount in East Central St. James, rainwater harvesting in a number of rural schools in St. Mary in Rock Hall, Olives, Gale Primary, Mount Angus and Derry Primary, and Beersheba recently opened.
Minister Chang was making his contribution to the 2017 sectoral debate in Parliament this Wednesday. During his presentation, Dr. Chang also signaled the government's intent to aggressively target public-private partnerships to provide housing for Jamaicans. He says 580 acres of public lands with the potential to provide 3,000 housing solutions have been advertised. The lands are spread across the parishes of Trelawney, St. Anne, St. James, and St. Catherine.
We have a positive response from the private sector. Developers are confident that work will commence on all these projects in this financial year.
The Mandeville Regional Hospital is partnering with the Florida-based Mind, Body and Soul Ministries to perform 250 cataract surgeries. The operations, which began, are being done in an effort to significantly reduce the waiting list at the hospital's ophthalmology department. The cataract camp facilitating the surgeries is being held for the 3rd time and will be operational until Monday, April 10. 453 cataract surgeries were performed by the team in 2014 and 2015. Culture Minister Olivia Grange has welcomed and praised the unveiling of the Anthony Winkler Archives at the National Library of Jamaica, NLJ. Winkler is a Jamaican-born novelist most famous for his work The Lunatic, which spawned a film adaptation in 1991 starring Paul Campbell. He wrote other novels that were similarly adapted for the screen and was listed as one of the writers for the movie Cool Runnings. Dubbed Home at Last, the archives of his works was launched at the NLJ on Thursday.
Anthony Winkler was an outstanding Jamaican literary artist to whom we owe a debt of gratitude for telling some of the Jamaican stories to a wider global audience.
Minister Grange says the Winkler family's gift of his personal archives has enriched the national collection at the NLJ.
That it allows us to preserve it for posterity and make it available through various channels to the people of Jamaica here and abroad, and to generations and for generations to come.
Anthony Winkler was born in Kingston in 1942 and died on September 18, 2015 in Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States. And finally, Velma Ricketts Walker has been appointed the new Chief Executive Officer and Commissioner of Customs for the Jamaica Customs Agency, JCA. Mrs. Ricketts Walker has over 17 years of experience in customs administration, trade facilitation, risk analysis, strategic planning, international trade, security, compliance, and enforcement. In 2011, she served as Assistant Commissioner of Compliance and Enforcement at the JCA. She was previously employed to the International Monetary Fund as a Revenue Administration Advisor. She is also an IMF certified and trained Tax Administration Diagnostic Assessment Tool Assessor. Mrs. Ricketts Walker succeeds retired Major Richard Reese and will assume duties on Monday, April 10. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.